So, as you know, we are in the midst of interesting times with this coronavirus issue and quarantining. And really, a big question to ask as we walk through this season is not just simply what I'm supposed to be doing, but what am I supposed to be doing in my interaction with other people? And what opinions and judgments should I have towards other people? Because as we're walking through this, we're starting to see that relationships are being strained by the choices we make regarding how we handle this quarantining situation. And as we proceed, I'm praying that we become more Christ-like. I couldn't imagine. This is a serious matter, but I couldn't imagine living during the time of the Revolutionary War, having to decide if you're going to be loyal to the crown or fight for the cause. I couldn't imagine being in the midst of the time when Civil War broke out and what kind of reaction we're supposed to have to this. Because we don't realize looking in the past how much this was fracturing relationships and how it wasn't easy to just figure out what to do. And I want to look at the scripture to see if we can get some advice on how to handle and walk through the season with good biblical character. So a couple of things to think through. James chapter 1, verse 19 says, "Be slow to speak and quick to listen." So my first order of business as I'm interacting with the opinions of others is to listen. Not to say something, not to express my own opinion, but to listen to what they're saying and listen to figure out what they mean, to understand what they're saying and where they're coming from. Because so often we listen to what people are saying by just not talking, but we're not actually listening to what they're saying, or we're building our case, or we're prepared for a rebuttal instead of trying to just listen and understand. And sometimes listening involves stopping and asking some questions and some clarifying questions as you continue the interaction so that you can really fully understand where they're coming from. So that's the first step in this. Underneath that are some statements in Scripture that will help us go deeper with this being slow to speak and quick to listen. Proverbs 18 verse 2 says, "A fool takes no pleasure in understanding, but only in expressing his opinion." So we have to be careful not to be so focused on the way I see this, and instead try to understand the way other people see this. Not that they're right, and not that I'm going to change my opinion, but I should make it my goal to understand the opinions of others before I express my own opinion. Then Proverbs 21 verse 2 says, "Every way of a man is right in his own eyes, but the Lord weighs the heart." Keep in mind that it's common for us to assume that my opinion is correct without really finding validation in logic or in scripture or in facts for my opinion. And so bear that in mind as you're judging others, and you can't believe that these people are doing what you are not willing to do, and you can't believe these people aren't doing this. First, keep in mind that your opinion, you think it's right, but you could be wrong. And so keep that in mind. Try to be humble in the opinions that you share or have. Then Proverbs 25 verse 8 says, "Do not hastily bring into court, for what will you do in the end when your neighbor puts you to shame?" And what that proverb is saying is, before you judge the actions and the opinions of other people, first try to get more information, because you might make an accusation only to show that you are not correct in your accusation because you didn't listen, you didn't seek opinion, you just seek information and understanding, you just focused on your own opinion. So it's important for us to be slow to speak and quick to listen. I wanted to add, check out video 4 of the coronavirus response. It talks about discernment. I want to reiterate that because many people are saying, well, this is factual, this is true. Be skeptical of the information you're receiving and think it through and with a critical eye before you just accept what it says, because there's often more than 2-3 layers of truth that you need to sift through. But I share these things because what seems to be happening is there are two extremes. There are the people who don't see this as a problem, and they tend to view the people who do as those who are mindless, and they just don't do their own thinking. They just follow the thinking of other people. And that's not really, you're not really understanding where people are coming from. But on the other side of the coin, there are people who are taking this very seriously, and they see the people who are not taking this seriously as you are putting other people's lives in danger. And that isn't necessarily true either. And so we want to try to be understanding of where each other's coming from. The hard thing is yes, our actions are affecting other people on both sides. And so I want to encourage us that there are important questions to ask and important things to think through, but try your best to be slow to speak and quick to listen, to know that your opinion is an opinion and it could be wrong, and that what other people are saying, you might not understand where they're coming from. So again, let's be slow to speak and quick to listen, and I hope that we can walk through this season like Jesus Christ would. Love you. God bless you. I want to encourage you also, though, if these videos are helpful for you, or if you feel like it's good information, the way to interact with YouTube or with Facebook to make this information get out to others is by interacting with the video, either by liking it, leaving a comment on it, sharing it, or subscribing to the channel. If you do those things, that'll help us to get these videos out to more people, so I encourage you to please do so. Again, God bless you. Have a great day.